Ms. Melissa Myers,
Here.
Mr. Alejandro Flores,
Here.
Mr. Dan Blackwood,
Here.
and not present, Mr. DeLeon English.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla. At this time, we'll have the presentation of annual financial management report. Mr. Anderson?
Good evening, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Strike, and Little Elm community. This is the 2015-16 financial management report, which is known as the first rating. And first of all, I'd like to introduce you to, Jesse Weiss, our Director of Budget. We spent a lot of time on the calculations of these numbers. And again, this is 2015-16 School First Financial Accountability Rating System, and which stands for the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. And it was adopted by the legislature in 1991 to achieve quality performance in the management of school districts' financial resources. It was implemented in 2013 and changed in August 2015, and the change is authorized by HB 5, House Bill 5, and Section 49 of the 83rd Texas Legislature. And 3 phases required separate worksheets for 2015-16 and 2016-17. The legislature does require us to go through each of the indicators and read through each one with the answers from the current year and prior year. In 2015-16, that's this year's presentation from last year's data, includes 15 indicators. Last year included 7. And assigns financial rating of fail or pass for each of the first 5 indicators, and 1 to 10 points for indicators 6 through 15. And the highest possible points is 100 points. And Little Elm ISD received the highest rating of A Superior, and we passed all indicators and scored 100 points out of the 100 possible. And these are the indicators. I'll list them, and then we'll go through each indicator with the answers later on. The indicator 1, the audit was submitted on time, which Little Elm passed. Indicator 2, audit unmodified opinion. Indicator 3, debt paid on time, which you passed. Indicator 4, timely payments to government agencies. Indicator 5, unrestricted net assets balance. Indicator 6, sufficient cash on hand to pay expenditures. Indicator 7, current assets to current liability ratio, we passed. And long-term liabilities to total asset ratio, we got full 10 points. Indicator 9, sufficient fund balance. Indicator 10, debt service coverage ratio, 10 points. Indicator 11, our administrative cost ratio, we got the highest 10 points. And indicator 12, student to staff ratio, 10 points. And indicator 13, PU's submission, 10 points. Indicator 14, audit free of material weaknesses, 10 points. And indicator 15, no financial hardship adjustment, 10 points. And I'll go through each one of them. And what's the complete annual financial report, the AFR, and data submitted to the Texas Education Agency within 30 days of January 28 for the school districts with fiscal year ending August 31. And the answer was yes. In the prior year, we also said yes. And we get our, remember these first indicators are just yes or no. Indicator 2A, was there an unmodified opinion in the annual financial report on the financial statements as a whole? Yes. And indicator 2 from prior year was also yes. Question, did the external independent auditor report that the AFR was free of any instance of material weaknesses and internal controls over financial reporting and compliance for local, state, and federal funds? Answer, yes. And last year's passed. Indicator 3, was the school district in compliance with payment terms of all debt agreements at the fiscal year end? Yes, and last year, yes. Indicator 4, did the school district make timely payments to the Teacher Retirement System, Texas Workforce Commission, Internal Revenue Service, and other government agencies? Yes. And this is new to this year, and last year was not scored. Indicator 5 was the total unrestricted net asset balance net of the accretion of interest for capital appreciation bonds in the governmental activities column in the statement of net assets greater than 0, yes. In prior year, yes. Indicator 6 was the number of days of cash on hand and current investments in the general fund for the school district sufficient to cover operating expenditures. Yes, and last year, based on 10 points, it was greater than 90 days. That's our threshold. And last, in our result, was 198 days, so we got 10 points out of 10. And prior year was not scored. Indicator 7 was the measure of current assets to current liabilities ratio for the school district sufficient to cover short-term debt. Yes. Threshold, we got 10 points if the ratio is greater than 3. LEISD's result was 4.03. We got 10 out of 10. Prior year was not scored. Indicator 8 was the ratio of long-term liabilities to total assets for the school district sufficient to support long-term solvency. Got 10 points if the ratio is less than or equal to negative or 0.6. LEISD. Result was 4, we got 10. That's supposed to be greater than. Sorry about that. Last year was not scored. Indicator 9, did the school district's general fund revenues equal or exceed expenditures excluding facilities acquisition and construction? If not, was the school district number of days of cash on hand greater than or equal to 60 days? The threshold was 10 points if the revenue minus expenditures is equal to or greater than 0. Ours is $4.2 million. We got 10 out of 10 points. Prior year, not scored. Indicator 10, was the debt service coverage ratio sufficient to meet the required debt service? 10 points if equal to or greater than 1.2. Our result was 1.8, so we got 10 points at the end. Last year was not scored. Indicator 11, was the school district's administrative cost ratio equal to or less than the threshold ratio? The threshold was 10 points if greater than, equal to or greater than 0.1. LESD, again, I think that's less than 0.08. We got 10 out of 10. Prior year's indicator was not. Did the school district not have a 15% decline in the students to staff ratio over 3 years, total enrollment to total staff? If the total enrollment did not increase, the school district will automatically pass this indicator. And the answer is yes, and received 10 out of 10 points. And last year was not scored. 13, did the compensation of public education information system, which is PEIMS, data to like information in the school district's annual financial report result in total variance of less than 3% of all expenditures per function? The answer is yes. We got 10 out of 10 points. Last year, the indicator was indicator number 6, and we also had received our full points. Did the external independent auditor report that the annual financial report was free of any instances of material weakness in internal controls over financial reporting and compliance for local, state, and federal funds? The answer, yes. We got 10 out of 10 points. Prior year, we also got 10 out of 10 points. Indicator 15, did the school district not receive an adjusted repayment schedule for more than one fiscal year for an over-allocation of foundation school funds as a result of a financial hardship? The answer is yes, and 10 out of 10 points. And last year was not scored. And some of these questions have a negative, it's negatively asked. So the school first summary, we answered yes to indicators 1 through 5. We scored 100 out of 100 points for indicators 6 through 15. And the rating again we received was an A, superior. And then our first rating transparency data, superintendent's employment contracts been posted on Little Elm ISD's website. The reimbursements received by the superintendent and the board members have been posted on Little Elm ISD's website. Superintendent received no outside compensation and/or fees for professional consulting and/or other personal services has been reported by the superintendent for the 2015-16 fiscal year. No gifts have been reported by the board members or superintendent for the 2015-16 fiscal year. And no business transactions between Little Elm ISD and the board members have occurred for the 2015-16 fiscal year. And this is the report that's will be put out on our website, which shows each board member and any reimbursements that happened during the 2015-16 school year. We went through that, and do you have any questions? I will fix those 2 signs before I put it up on the website.
Any questions from the board?
You can just check the spelling of my name.
Oh, I'm sorry, I will.
It happens all the time. It's no big deal. At this time, any citizen input?
So that's going to be posted, right?
Yes.
So you'll fix the less than and greater than?
Yes, I will.
These 2.
There's 2, yes.
All right, at this time, we'll close citizen input.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we will adjourn at this time at 6:27. The regular meeting will start in 3 minutes.